Well, he didn't lie. Nothing's different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yeah,
Stanley
I should update
decided
the
to go
title.
to the meeting
I'm
room.
actually not playing
Perhaps he had
Stanley
simply
Parable
missed a memo.
Ultra-Deluxe anymore.
No matter how hard Stanley
Playing
looked,
Stanley Parable
he
3.
couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh yeah, how do I get that achievement? I don't remember.
What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra-Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra-Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra-Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra-Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra-Deluxe content. Wait, Stanley. I've just now realized that bucket you're holding, it's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel. How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel? How do you have the bucket already? This makes no sense at all.
So don't think about it.
Hold on. Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel?
No.
I don't remember doing that at all. You're seeing things all out of order.
Don't think about it.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
I still don't have any jumps left. That high will never be realized again.
The infinite hole, the giant door. Did you see them already? Stanley, none of them
giant
are
door?
ready
What?
yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished.
What giant
How did
door?
they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting? Did they fulfill on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable
right,
could
that door.
possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game? Wait, if you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly. Yes, you carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable! Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you, clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a
Gamers
sweet
destroyed.
salve of victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win, 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 I win. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was.
Turn to the expo hall.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Yes, the first time.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly
I'm
the
gonna try and get a second
Stanley
bucket,
Parable 2
yes.
is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me? Stanley! Oh, thank God, I didn't lose you. Stanley, the power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me.
Never. Never. I'm going to get my achievement and then I'm done. How dare you. It was my own fault for going too close to the sun.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
I got it!
As you can see, the machine is not working yet.
It popped up.
What? Wait. What in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Oh, we did the hole. Can I change the balloons?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Out of order. You've already been here. No! I wonder if this would have been different if I had gone in the infinite hole like before. 'Cause it seems like it tracks that.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap fall. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can Great! Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The
I don't
hole
mind
was
seeing this
plenty
again,
deep. It
honestly.
was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button. Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole
This
seem
reminds
even
me
shorter to
of
you this time? I couldn't
weird-
help but feel
weird
like you
deep
spent a
cut,
little less
but
time in there than
Spy
you did
Kids
before.
2.
I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively... Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I
just wanna
have
see
no
all the other
explanation for the
variants.
uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
I think this is still my favorite bit in the game.
My head's stronger. No.
Die waar hij speelt vrijwillig. Nou, hè.
Okay, now we've seen all of it.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Yeah, the error was pretty good. Alright, well...
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
I think the achievement was the only thing to get here.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Here, now it's called mostly the Infinite Hole. And I feel like we've seen this through to the end. Can't even go back in. Yeah, I mean, I thought it ended like 2 or 3 times, but it just kept going. But I am the settings world champion. I was hoping I could change it. Wait, that's new. Oh no, it's just the epilogue again. Yeah. Alright, well...
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is
it
just so
tracks
much
that we've been here
catchier than
before.
Ultra-Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra-Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
They took away my bucket. I'm curious if this is gonna say Jim again, or if it'll say Stanley.
For the Stanley
just
Parable
Jim.
2, I asked myself, what do players really want?
She-Ra,
And of course,
Timmy,
the first and most
Peter,
obvious
Craig,
answer is that
Agatha,
they want to be individually
Jake,
recognized
Bart.
and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I
Okay.
promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget
Feel as
whoever you
though-
are, and simply become a person named
If it wasn't for
Jim.
the achievement,
I want you
that would
to
have been a
imagine
good
yourself
spot to end it
living as
after the
Jim,
epilogue.
sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in
I feel
love
like we
and being
have done a
heartbroken as
full-
Jim.
Good,
This is the story. Seizing all of the world's possibilities.
good loop.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Gladly.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
Yeah, I feel like the epilogue would have been a good spot to end, but I had to get that achievement. Had to do it.
Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I took my bucket. I mean,
So, Stanley, what do you think?
so this was about
Like all
4.5
of the
hours.
Yes, I know it's not exactly clear
It's
yet how exactly these features will come together as
good.
one single
I mean,
coherent video game, but
I paid 16 bucks for this,
it's going to work.
which
There's
I guess
definitely
kind
a
of
good
matches
game
up
in there
with
somewhere.
like a
So,
movie,
let's
I
do an
guess.
experiment. I'll arrange these new features together,
Like-
and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
If you think about it in terms of like a movie, I got it for 16 because I own the first one.
I give you
I think it's normally
the
like
Stanley Parable
25.
2.
That might be a bit too much.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
I don't know.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
I mean, you were all here for it. You got it for free.
Here we go.
I don't know what else... Well, I guess you didn't see all of the, all the original
Who am I kidding,
game.
Stanley? This isn't
There's
a
still
coherent video game at all.
some
It's a
stuff
lot of
there I
gags.
didn't do.
And I do very
Like
much
the adventure
enjoy
line.
creating gags, but they don't add
Like
up to
the
anything.
mannequins, which were
I wanted
really
more than
interesting.
anything to create a sequel
I
that
didn't
would
get
capture
the...
all the magic of the first game.
I didn't get all the
want fans to love
endings.
it. No matter how good
There
these
are
gags
still some other
they
endings I
wouldn't
didn't
stand on
get,
their own. They would
which I'm not
need
sure
the
if are
structure and the gameplay of the
incompatible
original.
with
Wait,
the bucket
maybe
ending.
that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, it is
Let me
it?
see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
The Stanley Parable 2, you say? Oh, you reset it, you jerk. Hello, Kiki. How are you?
This is the...
Oh, look, the balloons changed.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket.
Finally, yes, the bucket. Yes, yes, yes. I love that bucket.
I guess, you've already been through new content with the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door.
I would certainly say this is a good game to play blind. Both the original and the new. It does a good job referencing the original stuff. It's been 10 years, so I don't remember all of the original stuff. I'm sure there's probably still a few endings I never got. That being said, I guess I would wait for a sale. Pick this up. There's no real point in getting the original anymore. The original is this game without the new content. But if you haven't played the original game, don't do the new content yet, obviously. I don't know why I'm telling you guys, you just watched me play this for 4.5 hours. But it was interesting. Had a lot of good little moments. Let me check. Let me check my achievements list.
Stanley
Okay.
just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Oh. Apparently there's that settings world champion thing is set all setting sliders in the menu to all available numbers. And I guess we can check that. That'd be the last thing we do. It says every available number, so I'm just gonna do this to, you know, guarantee.
This is the story. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Actually, first I'll do the quick method.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story.
I don't think that counted. I mean, it says sliders and doesn't say, all settings toggle. It just says sliders. The music in this game is kind of subdued, but it kicked in when it needed to. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Coco, for how long this game was. And there's settings I didn't do? The heck is that aspect ratio? 147 by 83? Wait, what does simplified controls do? It gets rid of jump. What is the description that says? I changed all the settings, but nothing happened. Alright, so that may have been useful. Or useless. The opposite of useful. I don't know.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping in.
Oh, I can get it. You are now leaving. Me and the bucket are going now. Each floor has the same thing. Expecting to see another Stanley. Go now, Bucket. You don't deserve this life. Trapped in the endless loop. Alright, well, wait.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's gone. Do I have to go get another new bucket?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business,
I think that
Stanley
I'd have
took
to
the
go and
first
do
open door on his
the
left.
bonus content again.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
We got
that
a nice
kind of anxiety
closure
isn't healthy,
with
so
letting
he
the thing
relaxed
escape.
for a few moments with some calming new
I'm gonna
age
go
music.
turn on the mind control machine, and then we'll be done. Set things back the way they were.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Or I could die. I could let the machine crush me. No, I'll just turn it back
into
on.
the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Hold on. I want to see if the bucket's truly gone.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
And also,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Replacement
Perhaps
bucket.
he had simply missed a memo. And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna see if this works.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. One man, one bucket, one chance to seize their destiny together.
How does this work? Perhaps it's random.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. It's bucket time.
Input required is not happening this time for some reason. I'm not sure why. So there's that one. There's one more ending I want to grab. Because this input required has been taunting me. Oh, it didn't actually change it. That's weird. Maybe there's some weird overwrites going on.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. It's bucket time.
Maybe I need to do a specific ending first before it lets me do input required. Oh wait, you have to restart the game between each input. Okay, so I guess I'm on input 3 right now.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let me see if input
Still
3
no
is
one was
available.
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
This is where input 3 should be. But it isn't.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the
Now
bucket
I'm getting
guiding
like
him?
caught up with the
Yes,
small details.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
I'll do one ending.
The elevator raced
See if
downward,
input works.
plummeting towards an unknown fate.
If it doesn't work next time, I'll
It
just
would
be
be
done.
all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if
I feel
not
like this
for
is the most
bucket.
hidden ending.
Soothing him,
So I'm not
comforting
surprised that
him,
it's
reassuring that in this darkest
a little
moment
bit
of
obscure.
uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Faster ending would probably be just death.
Monitors
wouldn't it be?
jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly
I'll
burst
just do
into
the
tears
death
as
ending
Stanley cradled it gently,
here on out.
reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided, but at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in
Guess we get to see the
disgust
ducks again.
when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control button. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
The end. 'Cause, like, I don't know, I don't know. 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 I don't know.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. It's bucket time.
Input received.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
Input received.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
It's bucket time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Received.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley...
Input received.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where
Oh,
everyone
gosh
would
dang it.
be.
Forgot that
Stanley just
that
needed to
closes.
get to the meeting room, and from there...
I wanted to grab the bucket. No! Oh, that's right. This is the one that's full of buttons. That's all this is. I'd forgotten that this was the ending. I was hoping I could take the bucket to heaven. Seems like I can't. Okay, well I got the secret input ending. Alright. We hit all the buttons. Thank you for watching. This was at least twice as much content as
All of his co-workers were
I
gone.
thought I was going to get
what
from
could
it.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
That's good. But yeah. Still, all I've said
Stanley
before
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
still
and
holds
entered the
true.
door on his left.
Thank you for watching. Expect Lego Star Wars tomorrow. For a shorter stream, probably. And then I guess this will run me for a few days, and, yeah. I will see you guys next time.